ex-felons have the same rights? I'm Sydney Gardner.
I'm Malia.
I'm Kamari.
Okay, so we said yes, ex-felons should have the same rights as everyone. Our problem is many ex-felons have a hard time adapting to life outside of prison due to the fact that they lose a lot of rights while incarcerated, such as the right to vote and work.
Depending on state of residence, convicted felons lose their rights. Some rights are able to be gained back quickly and some are lost forever.
According to Breeding Center for Justice, millions of Americans are excluded from our democratic process on the bias of criminal disenfranchisement laws. These laws stripped voting rights from people with past criminal records, and they vary widely between states.
According to the Law Dictionary, some general rights convicted felons lose are jury service, voting, traveling abroad, and parental benefits.
The amount of people in prison in the United States is higher than any other country. There are 70 to 100 million people in this country with a criminal record, according to studying former criminals out of opportunity and economically free. The amount of money spent on keeping felons from working is hurting our economy. People check the criminal box have lesser chances of getting a call back by 50%.
Felony disenfranchisement is a consequence of criminal conviction and a loss of rights due to conviction for criminal offense. It can be traced back from Greek and Roman traditions. Disenfranchisement was commonly imposed as part of the punishment of those convicted of infamous crimes. Felony disenfranchisement is a big problem in the United States, and it is the longest standing form of voter suppression. When a person is convicted of a crime, it becomes public record. The widespread disenfranchisement disproportionately impacts people of color. 1 in 13 black voters do not have the right to vote, and 1 in 56 non-black voters are not able to vote. The widespread disenfranchisement disproportionately impacts people of color. Although the data on Latino disenfranchisement is less comprehensive, a 2003 study of 10 states ranging in size from California to Nebraska found that 9 of those states disenfranchised the Latino community at rates greater than the general population.
Okay. Economics. There's $22 billion of our national debt, and $87 million is used to keep 100 million ex-convicts out of the workplace. More than 48,000 federal and state civil laws restrict the activity of ex-offenders and decrease their liberties. This is a problem because once someone is out of prison, part of their probation is to find and maintain a job, but that's hard to do when there's a whole bunch of laws holding them back. These restrictions are called collateral consequences. Of the tens of thousands of collateral consequences, 60 to 70% are employment related, according to being an ex-offender is tough enough, which is first-hand experience of an ex-offender. Some collateral consequences are good, others are quite absurd, such as banning a pedophile from operating a daycare center makes sense, but in the state of Utah and Louisiana, they ban students with criminal records from getting financial aid, which therefore they can't get the education they need to succeed in society. Also, barbers and cosmetologists are unable to get their license, which makes it harder for them to own businesses and work. And another one is not being able to assist in any type of bingo call if you have any type of criminal record or type of felony. These restrictions are a huge reason why a lot of ex-offenders end up going back to jail because of these unfair laws.
Depending on which state, which political group owns the state, varies if ex-felons are allowed to vote or have every right as we do. If the Republicans own the state, it's most likely not gonna let ex-felons vote. Prison owners and politicians have good and bad intentions when it comes to money in the United States.
We must give ex-convicts a fair opportunity to work, vote, and other rights that Americans are given. Taking the rights of an ex-felon is wrong. Once they have finished serving their time, they should be giving their rights back.
This helps felon society, saving $87 million a year. Helps economy by letting them work instead of being on the streets and doing drugs while risking reincarceration.
Make a series, so one solution is make a series of questions and like a test to see if they are mentally okay to vote and work in any circumstance.
Some laws that restrict ex-felons need to be changed, which is most of the collateral consequences that I talked about. And we should also embrace the Clean State Act, which automatically seals certain types of records once a person has shown that they are on the right track by remaining criminal-free. States like Michigan, Carolina, and Colorado are already in the process of embracing these acts.
Some limitations / restrictions are the government gets money off of keeping people in prison. So therefore, changes to collateral consequences is quite slim. A lot of tests are color-based, so a lot of African Americans and other minorities will fail the mental test because of the government. Some more limitations are a lot of people incarcerated have some type of mental issue that are never diagnosed, so therefore they end up serving more time or fail the test extremely with no help from the government whatsoever.
These are our sources.
All right. Let me ask you all a few questions. All right, Kamarian, in what way did you improve your ability to work with a group as a result of this project?
We basically got together. We all had a group chat, and it made it where I can cooperate more, like give and take.
Okay. Jacques, give one specific way that your thinking changed as a result of learning about Sydney's findings.
Well, Sydney talked about, like, she had a historical perspective, so it kind of gave me a background on how, we didn't add it in our presentation, but I got to learn, like, the background on slavery and how, like, the jail systems used to work and how, like, they kind of changed now.
Okay. Sydney, reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem your group identified?
I think Malia did because hers was really about felony disenfranchisement, and with mine, it was the historical aspect. So I got to see like how that came about, and then hers just like explain how it's still happening now.
Okay, thank you. And then Malia, what is an example of a compelling argument from one of your peers' individual reports that you decided to exclude from your team presentation, and then explain why?
A compelling argument we decided to exclude was about Sydney's research, and she researched about the history of death, I think, and there was like arguments to it, but it wasn't really relating to like our topic or research question.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.